Great new book that's out. It's a memoir. It is called, I haven't read all of it yet. I've read part of it, To the Temple of Tranquility and Step on It. Ed Begley Jr., Dr. Ehrlich, you might know him as that. I'm enjoying your work in Young Sheldon a lot. I've been really enjoying that. That's so much fun. But all the things that you've done, and Ed Begley Jr., tell us first of all, kind of your dad, obviously, bigger than life, larger than life sort of individual. I think everybody's dad is kind of larger than life. But tell me a little bit about growing up around that and what that fostered, and because you talk about it in the book.
Yeah, it was very scary sometimes because he had that voice, Eddie, what are you doing, boy? You know, it was kind of terrifying as a young man. That, 12 Angry Men, juror number 10, which is a part that he played very effectively. He played this horrible racist man in that wonderful movie, and so you somehow get confused. Is that really my dad doing that? Does he believe any of that? Is he like that? But of course he wasn't. He was a wonderful man that was very ethical and kind and a great comedian too. But you don't know that as a young man. I was frightened to death of him for years, and fortunately we had some good times. He saw me start to get successful, not as an actor. I did very little work as an actor, but I worked as an assistant cameraman, and I became somewhat successful doing that kind of work. And he was very happy that I had some income stream.
He taught you some things about, and it really paid off. I would look at it this way: your environmental activism has been going on since 1970. Now that's like about a 53-year whim, something like that. It's more than a whim. Obviously, you have a passion for this, and you've had a passion for this for years.
It happened because, I asked them, well, what are you going to do on Earth Day? They say, we're going to clean up the air, we're going to clean up the water. I went, okay, sign me up. I knew the air was dirty because I, lived in it for 2 decades. I knew the water was dirty because I saw the Santa Barbara oil spill, and I'd heard what happened outside Cleveland where the Cuyahoga River caught fire. So I thought, we've got some work to do on air and water. Let me help. And I started to do everything that I could afford, and that's where my dad came in. He died within a few days of the first Earth Day, but I did a lot of this stuff to honor him as much as anything. And he was a fiscal conservative that liked to conserve, and I'm very careful with money too. So I didn't go out and buy solar panels I couldn't afford. I didn't buy some fancy electric car I couldn't afford. I did what I could on a very modest budget. So I became a vegetarian. I started recycling. I started composting. I started riding my bike, taking public transportation, and all of it was not only good for the environment, but it was very good financially. So I stayed with it. And I credit my father with that kind of, ability to not just talk about something, but to do it.
And that came with a little bit of a cost, didn't it, Ed? Because, it's no secret. There were people throughout the years that thought, Ed Begley Jr., what's that weirdo up to these days? I mean, that was said before. What's going on? Especially in the Hollywood circles. And, I'm sure you look back and think, did that cost me a gig here or there? Maybe. But on the other hand, it got you some things.
Yeah, it proved to be a plus in the long run, but it was scary there for a while because it's not like my name was on a drawer somewhere on a do not hire list. It wasn't that bad, but it was just, I think I gave people the creeps. They thought I was going to run up to them as they exited their SUV and say, you can't drive a car like that, you're killing the earth. I don't do it like that. I'm much more inclusive and go, hey, this is what I'm doing. If you want to join me, this is what I found that works. Do this, do that. Try meatless Mondays if you want to change your diet a little bit, see if you like it. Try taking public transportation for the routes that are easy for you. We can get out of traffic and save money and save time. And I just try to make it very available to people and make a good case for doing it where you're going to achieve something else like saving money or getting there quicker. And then people respond.
The book is called To the Temple of Tranquility and Step on It. What was the hardest thing to write in this book?
The hardest thing to write about was something that I struggled with back in the 70s, and that is, addiction. I drank a quart of vodka every day from 1971 through 1978, and I operated a vehicle. I do not recommend that, Luke. It's just not the way to go. So I got sober back in 1979, December of 79. I haven't had a drink since. so I'm one of the lucky ones. Not everybody has that good luck. Keep in mind, if you're drinking a quart of vodka every day and operating a vehicle, I could have killed myself, that's one thing, but I could have easily hurt or injured others. And that's the real frightening thing for me to this day. What could have happened, and thank God it did not.
When you were in the midst of St. Elsewhere, and going through that whole process and getting the Emmy nominations and all of that, 6 consecutive Primetime Emmy Award nominations and a Golden Globe Award nomination as well. Did you know it was lightning in a bottle there, that this was a show unlike anything else we had seen up to this point?
I did when I read the pilot before we even shot one frame of film. I wanted to be in this show so bad because it was better than most movie scripts I had read. It was a television show. It was better than movies. It was really, really good. And so I auditioned for and did not get the part that I wanted. And this is what I want to stress. What I've wanted in my life is usually dwarfed by what I actually wound up with. I wanted the part of Dr. Peter White, auditioned for it, did not get it. I got a much lesser role, had a line or two, Dr. Victor Ehrlich. Well, Dr. Peter White was shot and killed in season 2 of St. Elsewhere. I was around for the whole 6 years. It became one of the most popular characters on the show. So what I wanted was minor, what I got was major in every case of my life, and it continues. That good fortune continues to this day.
Genius knows where to find genius, and Chuck Lorre has done that. Others have done that, working alongside people like Annie Potts and Wallace Shawn, and the entire team over at Young Sheldon has been great. What do you want people to take away from this book as we kind of close things off here? What's the takeaway?
I want them to read some very interesting stories and see that my life has been like that character Zelig, where this guy is in all these landmark kind of events, and how the hell did he get there? Probably more likely it's Forrest Gump or Chauncey Gardner, but I'm this guy that has extreme good fortune, that's in the middle of things, without any real effort to do so. And also I want people to have a few laughs, and I'm told there's a good many laughs in the book, and that's very important to me, because you have to laugh about some of these things that are difficult, and that will help you achieve some sort of growth. I find it's very therapeutic to laugh.
It is. You're a smart man. You're a funny man. You're a delight to talk with. And I always say this, if in the course of my career I'm lucky enough to talk to some of my heroes, I'm lucky enough. And it's been a delight talking with you. Ed Begley Jr. The book is To the Temple of Tranquility and Step on It. And it is available at stores or wherever you're getting your books now, and through Amazon and all of that. You can get that book. Mr. Begley, thank you. It's been a pleasure.